Today, how to figure out a pixie. What is a pixie? How many kinds of haircuts do you know? 5, 6, 7? Well, I think there are 2 haircuts, a pixie and a bob. When I go to hair schools and teach and I say that, all the instructors go crazy. Oh no, there's 5 kinds of haircuts. There's a length at your hair, that's a bob. Length down to here, it's a bob. Length up to here, it's a bob. If you don't have a symmetrical length on the side, normally it's a pixie, unless you get in the military haircuts where you have no sides. So when starting with the pixie, Sally here has a basic length haircut that will go into a pixie, and she has length in the front, length in the back. So you have to determine what is going to be the focal point of her haircut. Is the back going to be the focal point, or is that the flowery part as you see as she walks by? Or is her focal point going to be the top like Nikki Six over here, where it spikes up? Or is the focal point going to be a side bang or 2 side bangs? We've determined that we're going to make the back soft today. Maybe a focal point here that shoots across the bang line like that. Sound okay? So, in order to do so, we can take Sally's head off. Right. So when cutting the pixie lengths, I normally have them look down. Where I don't like to do, because it creates a hard line, is in traditional bob cutting, you may come through the 0 elevation, 0 tension, and you may just kind of come across and cut your bob line like so. When doing that in a pixie, it gives you a hard line you have to get rid of. So I like to do is get done with my Guitar Hero stance, tilt the head down, find your angle with your fingers, leave the length you want to save in the back side knuckle right there, and then you can cut down to it. And then you can work your way around the perimeter of the back, giving you your basic outline that you can always go back to your razor or texturizing or chunking shears to get rid of the bulk and the excess hair you don't need. Over to the edge. And so you can see it's already getting soft in these areas. We want softness on a woman's haircut. And if you get softness on a mannequin, you did something pretty good. Finish this side, have solid down from here. Back into my guitar pose. And this, I think, is the biggest challenge for most hairdressers, is getting that neckline soft to match the rest of the hair. They tend to cut straight lines across the base, like a bob, and then they have to go back in and use so much of their energy and time just to soften the baseline. If they could start by softening the baseline, and the rest of the haircut will flow from there. Here we go. So you can see our baseline's pretty soft now. Has a nice little bevel to it. Can you see that bevel? So then you determine how much of this you want to get rid of. What I like to do is jump to the top, leave the bottom middle and the top middle for last. I know we want some fun in this area here. So I'm gonna cut it 90 to the square where it grows. Working a pinwheel section. A guide right there, cut 90 where it grows. All the way around the head. Sit in her lap, maybe I give her a tip. Maybe her big husband will come beat me up. Or my wife who's filming might beat me up. There we go, turn here. Here we go, climb over here. Bring it straight up to the top. Cut it 90. 90 is the most weight reduction in the hair you can do. Then bring all your pinwheel sections from the back up to 90. Now cut it. Work your way across the center, make sure you didn't miss anything. And if you did, it doesn't matter, it's a pixie. Go back in and texturize it. One more section. And all my pixies tend to be inspired by the punk rock days of the Sex Pistols and such. So you can see we've done nothing in the midsection or the lower midsection, and the haircut looks like it's almost finished, right? So now what we're going to do is try to make this area as cool as these areas. I could come in and cut a 90. However, I'm going to go in, elevate up to 135 as I cut, Come back down. Elevate to 135 as I cut. Hold it at 90. Elevate to 135 as I cut. Hold it at 90. Elevate to 135 as I cut. Back to the other half of the head. Now I don't take guides, I take head section, the way we quadrant out the head, according to Salon Purple's head mapping system. I'm trying to go quick, guys. I know a long, cutting, boring video's not your cup of tea usually, it's not mine. But look at the beautiful shape we're getting already. This lace so soft and nice, doesn't it? And so now we're going to address this area right here. That's now the bulky area, can you see?
Yeah.
All right, so here, we're going to take this section, and I'm going to comb it diagonal the head this way and cut out this way. I'm not quite sure what angle that is, so if you know what it is, feel free to comment in the section below and tell me, and I'll give you credit next time I cut this haircut, as I travel the country and teach hair all over the place. But it makes for real nice, soft lines. There we go. And I don't want to hear comments about my body positioning. I'm standing in the wrong spot. But the back of the head's cut, what, 5 minutes? All those fun places up here to play with. So you can already see, so my pixies are inspired by the 80s and 90s. Now we're going to dictate which way the hair is going to go. This way? You want it this way? Towards this way? So come off the side part, come like this. Come this down here. Is this something inspired like that?
Yep.
Can I let the ear show over here so we have a nice earring to wear? Okay. So you can take the hair over here. See, all my haircuts, when I cut with real people too, they're interactive. So I'm gonna take the hair, I'm gonna twist it once, twice, 3 times. I'm gonna cut the ear, so watch. Get rid of it. It's gonna be nice, soft shag inside. So it'll be nice and edgy. And now we'll just clean it up. By cleaning it up, we're going to take a diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward. But we're going to cut it diagonal back, diagonal back, diagonal back. For those of you who are hairdressers, you might understand that. Diagonal forward. I got to give you way this way. Pardon me getting you left in the celly. I'll tell you, husband. So this is my diagonal forward, right? We're going to cut it back that way. For those of you who know what a whisper haircut is, same methodology. It's gonna start laying so nice and soft in there. And this is an extreme version of a pixie. You can do softer versions. So I'm keeping my length down here. I'm getting rid of all that mess in there. And then the bangs have to go this way. We need some etching in this area here to kind of tie it all together. This is too long. So for a whisper layer we talk about in Salon Purple, whisper layer just means you grab the hair from where it grows, pull it the opposite direction, and cut it off. It's a haircut system we devised here. And that's just gonna go bye-bye. Put it back where it came from. See how soft it looks? So I'll do the whole 3-finger bang section. We're not gonna take the apex of the bang and do this. We're gonna dictate where we want it because it's our art. We're just gonna go back the opposite direction. Away, parallels to the head as you can get it. Next section. Go this way. Gonna get rid of this hair. Next section over the far side ear, the dominant ear. It's called the dominant ear because that's where most of the hair is going to lay. You know, tend to get puppy dog ears over there. Big fat sections of hair you don't want. All right, so we have cut the basic perimeters. The perimeter, we're going to touch this up in a minute. We set the 90 flat on top. We set some softness in the bangs. Now what we have missing is connecting the front long pieces over back. So we've cut the baseline. We've cut the perimeter on the ear here. Some pieces we'll clean up at the very end. Cut the perimeter at the very back here. We've not touched the perimeter over here. We've set the focal point up here. The whole back has that nice soft C feminine shape we like in hair. So what we need to do now is connect our square 90s to our long flipsy flopsies on top. Very technical, school a lot for that. A lot to remember that technical term, flipsy flopsies. What I'm gonna do is start at the very back of the head. Some of y'all call it the apex. I hate that word, so don't use that word. It's not the apex of the head. If this is the apex of the head, then that's the apex of the head, and that's the apex of the head, and that's the apex of the head, and that's the apex of the head. Right. Okay, so since the top of our head is going to be kind of spiky here, we're not going to go straight forward to the design. The design's actually going towards her right. I'm going to take a triangle section throughout the rest of her head, back, center, to the front. And because your eyes will lie to you and want you to cut more hair than you should, I'm going to take the center of my 90s and I'm going to just cut through them without even looking at them. But you can look at them until they're all gone. This is just a rough cut. But if you cut too solid of a line when doing a pixie, my belief is you make it too hard of a pixie and you have to go back and fix it anyhow. So overlap that section, overlap this section, and it's hard to train yourself not to look because you all want to see exactly what we're doing. So I'm cutting on the backstroke. It's like a back combing technique. These scissors are so old and dull. These are my practice scissors. Okay. So it gives you all this texture here that fits in the haircut. See? Makes your job easy. If you try to make those nice, hard, straight lines, you have to do them anyhow. You know, we want a little piece across the front here, probably. You want longer across the front or shorter across the front? Longer, like that. Okay, so if that's what you want, you gotta save it because it's gonna dry shorter. So I'll let that piece there be our guide. I'll cut this corner here out so it'll push into here. Is it cool too? So what we're gonna do is we want a longer swoopy side here. We'll leave that alone. That being said, now we're gonna get rid of the hair this way. I'm cutting on the downstroke. And if you can hear it, yeah, it's going. They're dull scissors. So it's no worse than doing a dull blade on a mannequin head. And we're going to take it back up. And we're going to cut up at a 45 like the rest of the haircut was. To get the same texture and motion throughout the hair. So this. No product in it. Besides a cutting motion, we have a fairly livable shape. So we'll put some product in it, we'll play with it, and I'll get you a finished look. Just a little spray putty from our blow dry. Get the guts and the technique we need, texture we need. Because it is a pixie, I'm taking the concentrator off. I want it to rough the hair up some. Pixies are not always smooth. My fingers in there, work that product in where I want it. I'm gonna make my shape. Pretty wearable pixie. What do you think? So if you get done, your client wants a little softer neckline down here. This is hard on a mannequin, but I will do my best to demo what I'm talking about. You can come in with the razor blade on a real person, or even your scissors, and come back in. If you come in close and see this, you come in close and see this one. You come in with the razor blade. We don't want to hold it flat like we're peeling potato. We want to come in and draw your name. So write your name right through here. And all it's going to do is take out a few hairs at a time. I am limited to how close I can get with my fingers because my fingers are fatter than some people's fingers. Or you can come in with your shears and you can take it shorter just by cutting with the back of your blade on their neckline into desired lengths. It all is a preference between you and your client. This is your signature work. Not all hairlines are the same. Not all clients are the same. If you go too high in the neckline, then I highly recommend you do a little extra work above the neckline and point cut on top and underneath to soften everything. And there we go, guys. Pretty quick tutorial on a super sexy, soft pixie. All we used was a spray putty, and there we go. This looks a little thick to me, so I'm gonna upgrade a little bit. Yeah, that's better, more pieciness. See what you guys think. Please subscribe to our page, like it, comment, and share it. Thanks so much.